There is a question every school-educated adult carries that no classroom ever answered. You were handed a diploma, maybe two: algebra, chemistry, history. Never wealth. The school system was never designed to produce owners. It was designed to produce workers. You entered adulthood financially illiterate inside an economy that profits from that illiteracy. The paycheck disappeared before the month did. Why does it always feel like one emergency away from collapse?
Solomon answered that question 3,000 years ago in a book written for his own child, 7 Financial Laws, written by the wealthiest man in recorded history, not one taught in school. By the end of this, you will hold all 7. The first one will change how you read everything else. Law 1, wisdom before wealth. Always. Proverbs 4, verse 7. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, though it cost all you have.
Notice what Solomon does not say. He does not say get income. He does not say get assets. This is not motivational language. This is a sequencing instruction. Order matters. Solomon was the proof of his own principle. God appeared and said, ask for anything. He did not ask for gold. He did not ask for power. He asked for a discerning heart. And God gave him both. Wisdom first, the wealth as its consequence.
Most people reverse the sequence. They chase money, hoping wisdom will follow. Provision does not precede understanding. It follows it. The sequence cannot be reversed. Wealth handed to a person without the architecture to hold it does not build a legacy. It funds a lifestyle. Then it disappears. The architecture was never there to begin with. The first law is not a suggestion. It is the foundation every other law is built upon. Before income, before investment, before a single financial decision, wisdom first. Though it cost all you have, Solomon did not soften this. He made the cost explicit.
Apply today. Before the stock purchase, understand the principle. Before the business, understand the model. A degree is not wisdom. Certification is not wisdom. Wisdom is the architecture behind decisions. Law 1, sequence correctly. Wisdom first. Everything else follows when the foundation is right. Solomon had a specific name for the person who does not. He called them a fool. Here is why. 3,000 years of evidence. Every school skipped page 1. This is page 1. The first law tells you what to get first. The second tells you what never to consume.
Law 2. Guard your margin like a soldier guards a perimeter. Proverbs 21, verse 20. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down immediately. This verse is almost never preached because it does not promise overflow. It demands discipline. The phrase store up in original Hebrew carries the weight of strategic positioning, not hoarding. Build a reserve before the season demands it. Position before the crisis arrives.
Benjamin Graham spent an entire career translating this one idea into modern market language. He called it the margin of safety. Never operate at full capacity. Always keep something in reserve. The gap between your obligations and your resources is not empty space. That gap is armor. Solomon's 12 administrative districts each provided 1 month of provision for the royal household. Not one district carrying everything. 12 sources. The load distributed. No single point of failure. Ask yourself honestly, if your income stopped today, how many days before the armor fails? That number is your margin. And your margin is your freedom. The math is that simple. Before you spend, before you give, before you invest, store first. Build the cushion. The wise person does not fear the hard season. They build for it.
preparation was the piece. Law 2. Before anything else, protect the gap. The margin you build is the freedom you keep. The first law tells you what to think. The second tells you what to say. The third, what to refuse. Solomon watched it happen inside his own kingdom, and he gave it the hardest name he could.
Law 3. Never bind your future to someone else's decision. Proverbs 22, verse 7. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Not servant, slave. Solomon chose that word with precision. He watched it happen inside his own kingdom in real time. Families who co-signed agreements with strangers. Men who borrowed gold and lost sovereignty. Debt does not just take your money. It takes your options. That is the part they never say.
The person carrying a loan payment cannot walk away from an exploitative employer, cannot take the risk the opportunity demands, cannot say no to what they know is wrong. Charlie Munger spent 6 decades studying financial failure. The pattern was always the same. People borrowed against future income they were not guaranteed to earn. Then, circumstances changed. The income vanished. The debt remained. This is not a theory. It is a pattern repeated every generation.
His conclusion was surgical. The greatest financial move is often the one you do not make. The purchase you skip, the loan you refuse, the co-signing you decline. Each is a door kept open. Every obligation you avoid is a door that stays open. Every debt you decline is freedom preserved. Law 3. Protect your future by refusing to pledge it to someone else's choices. The first 3 laws tell you how to think, save, and refuse. Law 4 tells you what to see.
Law 4. Know the condition of everything you own. Proverbs 27, verse 23. Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds. Solomon was not writing agricultural poetry. He was describing the discipline of honest assessment. In the ancient world, flocks were capital. They were the balance sheet made visible, breathing, alive. Know exactly what you have, what it is worth, what it is producing, and what threatens it.
Most people know the general shape of their financial life, not the specifics, never the specifics. The fog is more comfortable than the truth, and most people quietly decide not to walk into it. Solomon says, walk in, give careful attention, know the exact condition. This is not fear, this is stewardship. A manager who does not know the inventory cannot protect it, cannot grow it, cannot detect the leak. Proverbs 18. Plans are established by seeking advice. You cannot fight what you have not mapped.
You cannot build what you have not measured. The blueprint must precede the construction. Sit down with your actual numbers. Write every obligation. Calculate every asset. This week. A steward who manages from ignorance is not a steward. He is a gambler waiting to lose. Law 4. Know the exact condition of everything in your hands. Ignorance is not peace. It is exposure. The first 4 laws tell you how to think, save, refuse, and see. Law 5 tells you how to build. 666 talents of gold arriving in Jerusalem every single year. How? Law 5. Build systems, not just income. 1 Kings 10, verse 14. The weight of gold arriving in Jerusalem each year, 666 talents. Every year. Historians convert that figure to a modern equivalent exceeding $2 trillion per year. How does a man in the ancient world without banks or digital infrastructure, build this? The answer is not in the transactions. It is in the architecture. He built systemically.
He did not sell goods once. He built roads that goods traveled repeatedly. He built the infrastructure. He positioned himself at the intersection of Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Arabia. He built the market. He taxed movement, not just production. He was not a merchant. He was the market itself. Proverbs 8. Wisdom does not stumble onto position. She finds it. She calculates it. She dwells there.
The earner trades time for money. The builder creates what generals return when they stop showing up. Solomon built copper smelting furnaces in the Araba Valley engineered to harness the desert winds. The wind did the work. His cost dropped to near nothing. His output stayed constant every season. One investment in placement, repeated return from a natural force. That is the architecture. Stop building only income. Start building systems. Income stops when you stop. Systems do not.
Where does value already flow in your world? Then position yourself at that intersection. Position yourself to benefit from movement that is already happening. You do not create the current. Do this faithfully, quietly, without announcing it. The wise store up. They do not post about it. Law 5. Build a system that returns value while you sleep. Then build another. 5 laws complete. 2 remain. They are about the relationships that multiply what the systems build. Solomon needed cedar. He had none. Hiram of Tyre had forests. What happened next changed history.
Law 6. The alliance that multiplies is worth more than the transaction that pays. Solomon needed cedar and juniper logs for the temple. Israel had no forests, none. Hiram of Tyre had forests, and Phoenician artisans whose technical mastery was unmatched. Solomon offered wheat, barley, olive oil, wine, what Phoenicia's coastal geography could not produce. Neither party could fully thrive without the other. This was not charity, it was mutual necessity.
Each side supplying only what they could offer alone. This is the covenant of exchange, where both parties leave stronger than they arrived alone. Most people approach relationships transactionally. What can I get from this person today? Solomon asked, what do I have that no one else can provide? And who has what I cannot build alone? The Rothschild family scaled to global reach by operating as collective liquidity across borders.
Each branch positioned in what only it could offer. No single node overcommitted. The system distributed. The transaction ends when the payment clears. The alliance compounds quietly for decades. Law 6. Stop asking what a relationship can give you. Ask if it is a relationship of mutual necessity. 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation, 90% by the third. The failure is not financial, it is educational. The second generation receives money, but not method.
6 laws survive the test of history. The 7th is the one that makes all 6 last past your lifetime.
Law 7. Your legacy is only as durable as what you teach. Proverbs 13, verse 22. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. This is economic prophecy. 70% lose it by generation 2. 90% by generation 3. This is the norm. The second generation receives money, but not method. The third receives neither. Solomon did not write Proverbs as inspirational quotes. He wrote it as a curriculum, a transfer document.
My son, if you receive my words, my son, do not forget my teaching.
The language is deliberate. The most fragile point is not the moment of death. It is the decade of silence before it. Watchman Nee taught, a person does not pass down accounts. They pass down a posture toward money. Jewish communities preserved wealth across 2,000 years of economic warfare. How? They did not just pass down capital. They passed down the covenant, the operating system itself. Your children do not learn financial discipline from lectures. They learn by watching under pressure.
What you do when the bill arrives, what you say when the temptation comes, they are watching. The seventh law? The inheritance that lasts is not money. It is method. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Make the principles visible before the transfer becomes necessary. Wealth handed without wisdom is a countdown, not a legacy. The 7 laws were never hidden from you. They were waiting for the moment you were ready to read them correctly. Sacred Finances.